How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. We also got to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. So when you do invest, just know that you're doing it at your own risk. And you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, we do this 5 days out of the work week. Maybe you had maybe you had a stressful day, or maybe it was the market conditions. Well, you came to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. Here it comes. What do you call a watch with a belt on it? A waste of time. Yo, come on. That was fire. But anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is AMD. These are one of my favorite long-term plays, and it's definitely going to be in the long-term portfolio, and it's part of the reasons why I'm sharing it. But before we get started, first, we got to go over an agenda. If you're new to this channel, just to let you know, we have timestamps down below in the description to make navigation easier. But I heavily do suggest, whether you're a current shareholder or you're thinking about getting into a position, you watch this entire video. So the first thing that we're going to be going over is that they dropped a big time press release in regards to a stock buyback. We're going to be going into more details of what that pertains to, but there's definitely some big time benefits here. And then what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be doing a technical analysis, taking a look at the price action. What is a good price to actually buy AMD at? And if it does decide to pull back, if there's more volatility, where you could actually look out for it so you will not be surprised. Then after that, we're going to be taking a look at the institutional ownership. Are institutions loading up on AMD, or are they closing or selling out of their positions? We're also going to be taking a look at the short interest information. This is going to be telling us what is the overall market sentiment. So overall in general, should the price be lower or should the price be higher, or is it priced fairly where it's at? And this will tell us whether A, there's some short squeeze potential or not. And then when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts. So let's get into it. So we're going to be going over the recent press release that came out today for AMD. So AMD announces a $4 billion share repurchase program. So AMD today announced that its board of directors approved a new share repurchase program. Under this program, the company intends to purchase up to $4 billion of outstanding AMD common stock. AMD expects to fund repurchases through cash generated from operations, which have been strengthened by the company's strong operational results. Today's announcement reflects our confidence in AMD's business and the successful execution of our multi-year growth strategy, says Dr. Lisa Su, AMD President and CEO. Our strong financial results and growing cash generation enable us to invest in the business and begin returning capital to our shareholders. Under this program, which is designed to return value to AMD stockholders, offset dilution from stock issuances, and reduce share count over time, the company will repurchase stock in the open market. This repurchase program has no termination date and may be suspended or discontinued at any time. So this is definitely some great news here. When a company's planning to actually buy back their own stock, it just shows how much high conviction they have on their long-term growth. So I want you guys to take in this news and use it as a part of your homework and due diligence if you're considering to get into a position. We're going to be doing a technical analysis for AMD. So let's take a look at how it performed on the day. So we ended up closing today at $76.23, being up 2.40% on the day. On the low, it tested $72.76, and then on the high, testing $76.97. So one of the things that we want to take a look at right away, and if you want to know, we're looking at the 1 year, 1 day chart, just to give you guys a heads up. So just taking this into consideration, we want to look at the indicators. So it is below the 100 day, it's below the 200 day, and as well as being below the 21 day EMA. If we take a look at the RSI down below, it stands at around, let's call that around 44. So at 44, that definitely does mean it's in an oversold territory. It is below 50. So taking this all into consideration, if you're looking to get into AMD, and from my opinion, of course, this is not financial advice here, look out for that area of support where it pulled back at that $72 level. You do see over here it has a bit of a gap. So even if things started going red, and if it did decide to pull back, then definitely look out for the $69 level here. Not saying that's what's going to be happening, but I want to make sure you guys are prepared and you're not surprised. So if it doesn't pull back, then a good range to actually get this stock in. And like I said, this is the type of stock we're going to be holding for a while, for at least a year. Then the ranges here are between 73 and as well as 77. I feel that is a great range. Again, it's like a $4 spread, but again, we're going to be holding this for a very long time here. So I do believe, as far as a 52-week high is concerned, right here at just under $100 at $99.23, AMD will revisit this area before the year is up. That's what I'm telling you guys right now. Before the end of the year, AMD is going to be revisiting this area. It is in the semiconductor space, and also do keep in mind of the fact they have been crushing it on their earnings reports for quite some time. So taking all of this into consideration, this is why I'm bringing it on your radar. Definitely a great buying opportunity here. So we're on fintel.io, and we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership for AMD and as well as the short interest information. As we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So you could also see here, before we get started, we have BlackRock Inc. having a large position in regard to shares at 83.4 million. So that is definitely great to see, and also as well as Vanguard going in with 96.49 million. So definitely some notable names here who are invested in AMD. If we take a look at what's been going down recently, especially as of today, which is the 19th, we have 3 institutions that ended up closing out their positions. We also have fiduciary trusts adding a little bit to their overall position as well. And also, if we take into consideration the teachers retirement system of the state of Kentucky, ended up lowering their position by just under 7%. Now, if we take a look at what's going on with Virtue Financial, they actually bought up 55,000 shares, or just over that. And then we have institutions who are already currently invested in AMD adding to their position. So maybe looking to be averaging down and so forth. So this is actually great to see. So we see things on both ends. We see institutions who are closing out positions. We also see institutions who are opening up new positions. And then we're also seeing institutions who are adding to their current positions. And I'm definitely see that they're doing this to get their costs down so they can actually enjoy when they get the run up. So if we take a look at the short interest information here, the short volume ratio stands at 19%. So this is below 21%, which is what we normally look for. Do keep in mind, this is a stock that is in the tech sector, so it's no surprise that it is around 19%, and I can see that getting lower, especially if things start to look bullish again. Now, if we take a look at the short shares availability, stands at around 10 million. Short ball free rate is at 0.30%. And as far as for the short volume ratio history, we can see on the 17th, it was at 27, and this was definitely out of the norm because usually it is below that 21 that we're actually looking for. It's usually in the teens and so forth. So seeing it climb up and then seeing it on being at 18.71 or 19 to be exact, this was as of close yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see what it looks like for today, which will be coming out later on in the evening time. But for the most part, I still see a lot of upside in AMD, and it's definitely one of those stocks, like I say, you should hold it for at least a year and you could definitely see some returns. I know it will get past that 52-week high before the end of the year period of actually holding this stock as well. So for my final thoughts for AMD, I definitely love the long-term potential in this stock, and it's part of the reasons why it's going to be going in my portfolio. Another thing we need to understand here, this is a strong company that's been producing some strong financial results. I can make another video going in deeper about AMD, but for the sake of this video, they've definitely been consistent in regards to their financial reports and also beating estimates. Also, them coming out and saying, hey, we're going to be buying back our stock shows that they're very, very confident in the business, the operations, and so forth. And the current price of where it's at, they see it being undervalued. They're saying, hey, we should be worth a lot more than that. And to bring even more value to investors, we're going to be buying back shares. And to go quickly, what this means is when we buy shares, it comes down to supply and demand, right? So by them buying up more of their own shares, that means there's going to be less shares available. What does this mean? This increases the overall value. So I know for a fact, as far as this week progresses, let's see where that price settles at. I gave you guys a range that you could actually choose from. I myself, you know how cheap I am. So I'm going to be grabbing it when it hits those lows on the day. And of course, I'm going to be building out my position gradually over time. As you know, I love using a dollar cost averaging approach. So just taking all of this into consideration, I definitely like how I was looking for AMD. We also know this is in the semiconductor space. They do have other competition like Nvidia and so forth, but I do believe as far as when we take a look at the 52-week high of AMD, it's like just under $100. I think it was around $99 and something. There's definitely the ability for this stock to get to $100 within a year of me actually putting this video together. And it's part of the reasons why I'm sharing it. And I also do believe it will even surpass that. Like I said, this is a great play. As long as chips are needed in the world, which I feel like, you know what, chips are not going anywhere. We need chips regardless. Then this is a solid play to be in. And the fact that the company's buying back shares shows high conviction. And I have high conviction as well as far as for the future for this stock. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and we talking real soon.